What's up guys, it's Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I want to do a quick video showing you guys how to install Swift on Ubuntu 20.04. So, as I stated in the intro of the video, I want to show you guys how to install Swift. And if you guys don't know what Swift is, it's basically a programming language that was made to create iOS apps. And I know this is a Linux channel and I don't typically cover anything dealing with Apple products or Apple OS or iOS, but I figured it'd be interesting to actually install it so you guys can learn how to program in the Swift language, because it's a general purpose language. You can use it pretty much for anything, but it's typically used to create applications on iOS. And if you're learning how to create these applications, you don't need to have a macOS or a Mac device in order to develop. You can actually develop the code on other operating systems, and in this case I'll be showing you guys how to install it on Ubuntu. So let me go to Swift's website so I can read a little bit about it so you guys can get an understanding of what exactly I'm trying to do. So let's get started. Okay, cool. So I'm at Swift's website, or actually this is Apple's website. It's the developer page. So if you type developer.apple.com/Swift, that'll get you to this page that I'm at right here, which basically covers the Swift programming language. And let's just read a little bit what it says right there. It says Swift is a powerful and intuitive programming language for macOS, iOS, watchOS, tvOS, and beyond. Writing Swift code is interactive and fun. The syntax is concise yet expressive. And Swift includes modern features developers love. Swift code is safe by design, yet also produces software that runs lightning fast. So if you guys are, I don't know, going through some type of training course or whatever, and you don't have an Apple device, you can actually install Swift on Linux, which you could develop all these types of applications for Mac computers. But if we scroll a little further down, it says modern. So Swift is the result of latest research on programming languages combined with decades of experience building Apple platforms. Name parameters are expressed in a clean syntax that makes APIs in Swift even easier to read and maintain. And pretty much this is just a advertisement for the Swift language, so I won't read through all of this. I just wanted to kind of cover it, at least so you guys can understand what it's all about. But one thing I wanted to show you guys at the bottom, close to the bottom, the Object C. So you can create an entire new application with Swift today and begin using Swift code to implement new features and functionality in your app. It says Swift code coexists alongside your existing Objective-C files in the same project. So that lets you know it's compatible for working with Objective-C files that you have. And it also says with full access to Objective-C API, making it easy to adopt. And then right here it says get started. So on their page, on Apple's page, they actually have a lot of resources for you, and it says Xcode right here. But documentation, here's documentation, a whole bunch of documentation for the Swift programming language, as well as, you know, libraries, playground, authoring documentation, Swift playground author template, and sample code. So that's one thing I really want to show you guys. They have some sample code here, so if you're learning it, you can, you know, get the sample code from here, or some sample code, you know, so that'll help you understand the language and start developing. And the reason I wanted to cover this because I know a couple people that developed apps, you know, on their personal computer, but they had a Mac system, and I was looking around and I was wondering if you can develop apps for macOS on other operating systems. Like, I never knew anything about the Swift programming language. I actually don't even know it, so don't look at me as someone that can actually teach you. I just want to show you how to actually get it up and running on your Linux operating system if you want to try out this programming language. Now, it was another thing I wanted to go to. I wanted to go to swift.org, and this is the actual page where the page for Swift. This is the main page for Swift. And if we go to the About Swift page, I'll just click on it. It's basically the same information. You know, Swift is a general purpose programming language built using a modern approach to safety, performance, and software design platforms or patterns. But we need to go to this site to actually get the package to install it. And you have to go to the downloads page. And also Swift needs a couple dependencies. As you can see, it's supported on Ubuntu 16, 18, and 20. And then CentOS and 7 and 8. And then it says Amazon Linux and Windows 10. Also Xcode. But no, that says unavailable right there for whatever reason. But anyway, it says the current version is Swift 5.3.3. It contains Linux and Windows changes only. So if you're using Xcode, then you have to use Swift 5.3.2. That's basically what it's saying, or you should use it. Now, if we go down a little further on the page, they have some installation instructions. So you can get all the installation instructions here, but you guys know I like to demonstrate it. So I needed to show you guys this, that they do have some dependencies that need to be installed. And right here is where the dependencies is. So under the Linux section, you just scroll down to it, but they have dependencies that need to be installed on the operating system. So Ubuntu 20 is what we're installing it on. And so these dependencies we need to install before we actually install Swift. But let's go down and get to the virtual machine so we can go through the process and install it and get it set up. Okay, cool. So I'll be doing a demonstration of the install on Ubuntu 20. So let's go down and hop right into it. And one thing I wanted to do was actually type in and go to swift.org in the browser so I can grab those dependencies. But one other thing we need is the terminal. And I'll zoom in on it in a second. But if we type in swift.org, let's grab those dependencies right fast. So we go to downloads, go back down to the bottom or close to the bottom. Yeah, here we go. So Ubuntu dependencies. So we could just grab this command, or we could just grab let's just grab the applications that we need to install, or the packages, the dependencies. So we could type and let me zoom in right fast so you guys can see what I'm doing. And let's just type sudo apt install, and then let's just paste those packages in there. Boom, and press enter, and that'll run and install all those packages. And if you've never seen this before, these backslashes right here just basically lets the terminal know that you're writing something on the next line, and to continue, you know, with the programs that are there. So let's press enter, and it'll go through and install all those applications for us. And this may take a little time, so I might skip ahead. I think it takes a little time to install these packages, so I'll be back when it actually finishes. Okay, cool. So the installation of the dependencies is done. Now let's go on and install Swift. And first thing we need to do is actually grab the package, because we're going to use wget to actually download the package. So let's right click here. All we have to do is copy the link. So copy link location. And then we can go on and, well, I'll minimize it, but all we got to do is you can use whatever directory you want to. I'll go to my downloads directory, and then let's type wget, and then we need to use the -c option, and then let's go on and paste in the actual link. And as you can see, that's the tor.gz file. So let's press enter. It'll go down and download the actual package for us, and then we can extract it out, put it in the proper location, and actually get it up and running. So this might take a couple minutes as well, so I'll skip ahead when it finishes. Okay, cool. So we finished downloading. Let's go down and extract it now. So we're going to use the tor command. So tor, then xzf, those options, and then let's select the Swift download we just did and press enter, and it'll store it in the same location just by running it that way. It'll use the same folder name and everything when it extracts it all. And as you can see, it's done. Didn't take too long. And let's ls this directory so you guys can actually see that it's there. And this is the extracted package right here, the blue one. Now let's go down and move it to a good location that's, and this is the recommended location under user share. And then I also want to rename the folder, so let's type sudo, and you have to use sudo because the directory that we're moving it to is owned by root. So let's type mv for move, and then we want to select that file, that folder, and then let's extract it to the user directory and then the share directory. And we want to name the folder or rename the folder while we're moving it. So let's just type Swift, and let me stretch out the terminal so you guys can see it a little better or see the full path. But that's basically the command right there. It'll move that folder to that directory. So let's press enter, and we're good to go. Now let's go down and add this to our bash RC file. So we can type echo, and then let's put quotes, export, and then the path, and let's type that in all caps, equals /user/share/swift, which is the directory that we created. And then under that directory there is a user and then a bin directory, which is what we want. And then let's go down and type colon, and then $ and path in all caps, and then let's close those quotes, and then let's push this over or append it to the end of our bash RC file. So let's it's 2 right arrows that'll append something to the end of a file. And then since we're not in the home directory, I'm gonna specify the home directory by putting the tilde and then / and then bash RC is a hidden file. And let's go ahead and stretch out the terminal a little more so you guys can see, and then bash RC and press enter. And like I said, it'll append that to the end of the bash RC file or my bash RC file on this system. So let's press enter, boom, and we're good to go. Now let's go down and refresh or apply the changes that we just made to the bash RC. And we should, if this fails, that means we made an error while we were typing, which I think I typed it all right. Let's use the tilde again, / and then our bash RC, and press enter, and this will refresh, so we good to go. No errors, nothing. So that means it was added properly and it understands what we added. Now we can actually go down and run Swift. We can actually get into it, and it's just to verify that it actually working. So let's type Swift and then -v, and this will actually, and let me check to see if I made a mistake because it actually failed. That should have worked, but let's check my bash RC right fast. So and let's go down and cd, and let's just cat out the bash RC, and everything looks correct. That's the way it's supposed to look. Let's go down and check something else. Okay, so I basically made a stupid mistake. Everything was correct. I just had to go down and close out the terminal and open it back up. But anyway, I tested it so it works and everything. So let's go down and type that command again. So let's type Swift and then -v, and this will basically show you the version. We have Swift version 5.3.3, which is the version we downloaded, and everything is good. So you can start programming and creating applications using Swift on Ubuntu 20.04. Now, one thing I recommend, you go down and install Atom or whatever your favorite text editor is for programming. That's one of the things you want to use, because that'll help you greatly while developing your actual code. So you should be good to go if you want to start creating iOS apps And that was the whole purpose of me doing this video, just to show you guys how to actually, install Swift programming language so you can actually develop and you could possibly create some type of application that you could sell. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs some extra money, and this is something you can actually do, to make a little extra money. You know what I'm saying? You come up and develop an application. It could be a game or whatever, and put it in the Apple store and start selling it, as long as it meets Apple's criteria. I know it's a little tough to get through the process of actually submitting an application and getting it approved to be put in the store, but you can at least start at this point. You at least have a starting point where you can actually start creating the actual application, and then you can do more testing on other ways. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, leave comments down in the comment boxes below, and of course, keep it techie.